organization and gives you an edge in your career prospects, right? So you acquire an international professional credential in finance and you enhance your employability. So it is not only about finance, it is also about accounting. Okay, it's a combination of both. In fact, I should say, CMA is a combination of finance, accounting, and business acumen. So it looks at not only the accounting and finance part of it, but also helps you understand how finance and accounts impacts the business. So it's a wider, you know, course. I would say the syllabus is much more wider compared to some of the courses which are, very specific to costing. For example, the ICWA course of India is more focused on costing, right? But this is a wider. So you look at finance, you look at accounts, you look at costing, which is a part of finance and accounts, and you also look at how your decisions impact the business side of the organization as well. It's well, what to say? It's like, one of the well recognized courses in the globe. Uh, US recognized course obviously has a lot of weight. Okay, you have a lot of US companies in India who would, hire you because you have a designation which they recognize and is recognized in the country as well, right? So, well, let's come to the core points now. So what is it you need to do your CMA? Okay? You need minimum a graduation. Okay? But that does not mean that you cannot take your exam till you are a graduate. So if you are in your final year of graduation and if you have, good academic background, you can take up the exam, okay, and you can clear the exam. You won't get your certification unless and until you have your graduation and the required work experience. Okay. Now you can meet the educational requirement within 7 years of passing the examination. So you can clear your CMA, okay, and within 7 years you can get graduated. The difference is you will not have your certificate till you get your graduation. Okay. So that's the difference. It does not mean that you cannot write the exam or pass the exam. You can definitely write and pass the exam, but you won't get your certification. What is the CMA exam about? Okay. The CMA exam consists of two parts. Okay, part one and part two. You can complete the exams, both the exams, either together. You can write both the parts together in one exam window, or you can write them one by one. The choice is yours. Average time it takes between 6 months to 12 months. Unlike ICWA, which takes you approximately 3 years because you have to have your articleship in ICWA now, which is compulsory. Okay. And then you need to write your exam. You need to clear your exams. So you'll by the time you go through the entire process, it'll be approximately 4 years. Okay. What is the maximum time you clear? So from the time you enroll, okay, I'm underlining the word enroll, you have 3 years to pass your exam. Okay. Enrolled with the IMA. Enroll for the IMA membership, you have 3 years to pass your exam. So key points. Okay. Like I mentioned, you can clear the exam in 6 months to 1 year. There were two parts. It is a CMA. It's a course provided by Institute of Management Accountants USA. Okay, and it is globally recognized. I don't think there's any country which does not recognize this. It is recognized across the globe. Uh, Once you complete your exam, once you get yourself certified, that is, you have a certification because you are a graduate, plus you have your required work experience and you have got your certification, you will get an amazing opportunity in the job market. Okay. Compared to a person who is an ordinary graduate, you will have an edge. You are much more qualified. You are qualified as a professional. So you will definitely get that benefit over that. Now, exams Where can you write the exams? You can write the exams very well in our own country, India. There are a lot of countries where you can write this exam across the globe, and these are online exams conducted by Prometric centers, right? So you can look up the Prometric centers where all you can write this exam on the Prometric website. There will be links in the following slides, which will tell you, the website links for the Prometric centers. It is an online exam. It is a 4-hour exam. I will talk about the exams in details once I talk about the syllabus. Also, it is very cost effective. Okay? Compared to some of the other international courses, it is much economical to do this course. Okay? Right. So here are the points. Okay, what kind of a career can you get when you complete this course? Okay, you can join multinational companies. You can join, companies which are US based firms working, having branches in India, having business in India. You can go abroad to, work in companies. Okay, you can work in the big four financial services consulting firms. They all hire. You can work in the manufacturing industry because costing is also a part of the topic you will be studying. Okay, so you can work in the manufacturing industry. You can work in banks. You can work, in fact, any industry where finance is a requirement. Okay, so achieving a CMA qualification demonstrates your professional experience or expertise in financial planning, analysis, control, decision support, and ethics. Okay, now your question would be, what is the difference between the Indian ICWA and the CMA ICWA? The concepts or the topics are more or less the same. The syllabus is more or less the same. The difference is in how much of detail you go into. So when you do ICWA, you go very detailed or deep into costing. That's the focus of it. ICWA's focus is costing. You get very deep into it. You do touch upon the other topics, but they are very superficial. Okay? But on the other hand, when you do a CMA USA course, you have not only just give me a minute. Yeah. Not only do you have you know the breadth of the course, you touch upon a lot of topic, but it also prepares you to take on different roles, under finance and accounting. So you're not only a cost accountant over there, you can be a financial analyst, and you can go right up to a CFO level if you have the determination, if you have the knowledge, and as you work, you start gaining your work experience, you can go up to a CFO level. So you get a broader understanding of all the topics related to finance, accounting, costing, all of them. Right? In fact, there is some parts of auditing also in. It's very less. Auditing is very less in this, but you do touch upon auditing also. Another difference which you would find. So if you compare it to a chartered accountant or a CPA, okay, a chartered accountant or a CPA, that's post-mortem. So once these statements are finalized, then you audit those to see if they are in accordance with the rules and regulations. So they do a post-mortem once the financial statements are prepared. On the other hand, a CMA is actually forward-looking. He's looking at the future. How can you set up your financials and your accounts to meet your future needs? How can you set up your finances to achieve your future goals? So it's more forward looking, whereas the CA or C is more about postmortem. So what is the syllabus, right? What is the syllabus contained under CMA? Like I told you, there are two parts, part one and part two. Part one is called financial planning, performance and control, and part two is financial decision making. So the topics covered under part one and part two are financial reporting decisions. Okay? So what is it that you report? What is required to be reported according to the law? What is required according to US GAAP? Things like that. Planning, budgeting, and forecasting is self-explanatory. How do you plan, budget, and forecast for the future? Performance management is how do you manage your performance of your business along with your key people. So it is not only about your business, it's also about the people. So cost management obviously is about costing, and then internal controls, little bit about auditing and putting checks in place to ensure that all all the controls are in place so that there's no misstatements of the financials and things like that. Technology and analytics is something new. So I would like to stress upon technology and analytics over here. So this is something which has been added recently, and this tells you that CMA is, or IMA, I should say, not CMA, I should say IMA. It's constantly updating the syllabus to be relevant, okay, to the current needs. All of us know today that technology, automation plays a huge role in our work. Okay, you see any industry, you will have technology and automation. There's no industry which is left untouched by these, technology, robotics, and all, automation, machine learning, all of this. There's no industry which is left untouched. So we all realize that, how big technology has become a part of our everyday lives. If you go back 20, 25, 30 years back, nobody would, use accounting software to, write their accounts. Everything was manual, right? But gradually we see that, accounting softwares were developed. It made our life simpler. Instead of writing a journal and then posting it and creating a trial balance and a profit and loss statement, and now with one entry everything gets created, right? So we see the technology is catching up with our work. So technology and analytics are playing a big part. Data analytics, machine learning, all these are playing big parts. So you see, IMA is ensuring that the syllabus is constantly revised to be current to the requirements of the industry today. And one of the best examples is technology and analytics. So it tells you how technology and analytics plays a key role in accounting finance. Okay, so that's another thing which has been added, and you can see the weightage is 15%. So what you see in the brackets, 15%, 20%, 20% is the weightage for that particular section of part one. Okay, so you see the weightage is quite high. 15% is a high weightage, and that's the importance of technology and analytics in today's life. Uh, I'll come to the exams and the question pattern a little, down the line once I've completed explaining part two syllabus. So part two syllabus contains financial statement analysis. So I told you CMA covers not only costing, but it covers entire gamut, right? So financial statement analysis, how do you analyze the financial statements? How do you understand what has been published? How do you read a financial statement to see the health of the organization, right? Corporate finance talks about the different methodologies of raising finance. What are the needs of an organization in terms of finance? How can they fulfill those needs? How should they manage their finances so that there's a balance between debt, equity, and all of that. Decision analysis, you make decisions. So how do you analyze the decision? Should you go ahead with a particular project or not? What are the benefits of going to the project? How do you value that project to see whether it is profitable or not? Those are all decision makings. Risk management, every business, every venture has risk. The very fact that we are living today is also a risk, right? We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So how do we manage the risk in terms of an organization, in terms of a business, in terms of finances? How do we manage the risk? That's thought about in the risk management. Investment decisions are obviously self-explanatory. Where do you invest? Why do you invest? Okay, what is the best investment and things like that. Professional ethics, another key important topic which is covered in CMA. Ethics is now becoming very key with a lot of scams happening. People are skeptical about the business and the management. So ethics plays a very big role in that. How ethical is the business, right? Not only about the people but even the business, how ethical is it? How are they socially responsible in terms of the corporate, what they do to the globe, to the world across. And how ethical is the management? How transparent is the management? Are they trying to hide things from the public or the stakeholders? So those, what are the different different areas under which they need to be ethical? How do they show that they are being ethical? So all of this is covered in the professional ethics. Again, you will see the weightage is 15%, quite high and very relevant. Okay, I don't think any of us would like to do business with somebody who is not being ethical or is not helping the society being by being ethical or not being transparent in the dealings, right? We don't want shady dealings. Nobody wants to do a business with a company which has shady dealings. So ethics there plays a very important role. That's about the syllabus. If you have your questions, please make a note. We will answer your questions towards the end. We will have a question answer session. I'm sure some of you would have questions on these syllabus. So please make a note and we will answer them for you. Coming back to the exam, each part, so part 1 and part 2 is a 4-hour exam. It is continuous 4 hours, no break. The break, if you take any, is at your own cost of the time. Okay, your exam is scheduled only for 4 hours, and it's an online exam. It is conducted by Prometric. Once you complete your coaching, once you're satisfied that you're well prepared to take on the exam, you you can become a member of the IMA, and then request to get an exam code. With the exam code, then you can schedule an exam on Prometric. Okay, obviously you have to pay the fees and all that. That's understood. There are fees for the membership and the exams, or that's obvious. Okay. Now, how is the exam pattern? The exam is of 4 hours, 3 hours for multiple choice questions, and 1 hour for your essay type question or scenario based questions. What we call as essay type or scenario based. 100 multiple choice questions in 3 hours, and two, mostly two. It can be three also, essay type questions for the next 1 hour. Okay, that's how your schedule is. Your time is broken up for your exam, and that's the pattern. Now, you cannot write your essay question or the scenario question unless and until you get 50 questions right under multiple choice. Please understand this carefully. It is not 50 marks, 50 questions right. Okay, under multiple choice. Out of 100, you should get 50 questions right or correct. Then only you will be able to write your essay questions. Getting 50 questions right does not guarantee a pass. It is only a requirement to move to the next step of the exam, which is essay type questions. Okay. So both part 1 and part 2 are modeled on the same lines. 4 hours exam, 100 multiple choice questions, 2 essay questions. You need to get 50 of the multiple choice questions right before you can proceed to the next part of the exam, which is essay questions. Okay, that's about the pattern. Okay. So same thing over here. Now, what is the minimum requirement to pass the exam? Okay. You need to have 360 out of 500. The exam, each part is for 500 marks. Okay. Each part of the exam is for 500 marks, and you need to score 360 out of 500 to pass the exam. The score for each question is not known when you write the exam. You will not know. Question 1, how many marks does it carry? Question 10, how many marks does it carry? You will not know that. It the marks for each question is dependent upon the level of difficulty of the each question. So you don't know what the score is, okay, when you write the exam, but your final score should be 360 out of 500. The 360 is for both multiple choice questions as well as your essay questions. It is a weighted average. Underline weighted average. So scoring 360 only in MCQ and 0 in essay type, you may not pass. Okay, because it is a weighted average, and you don't know the level of difficulty of the exam. Your marks are based on the level of difficulty. So you have to attempt both and get a weighted score to pass. The exam part 1 and part 2 must be completed within 36 months the date of registering for the program. So you have 36 months or 3 years from the date of registration to complete both part 1 and part 2. So immediate question, what happens if you don't complete? You need to re-register and start from zero. Okay, you have to start from scratch again. You need to re-register and start from scratch again. So you'll have next 36 months to complete. So let's say I completed part one, okay, but I couldn't complete part two in 36 months. My part one becomes void. It is no longer valid. Okay, it becomes void. So I need to register after 36 months again take up part one and part two to qualify. Okay. So score matrix, you will not be provided immediate pass or fail results. Okay, because essay questions are graded offline because they look through how you have answered the question. Okay, and they grade you. So MCQ can be graded online itself because it's just a right or wrong answer. There's no understanding how you of your understanding of your concepts in that. It is more about a yes or no kind of an answer. If your answer is right, you get your marks. If your answer is wrong, you don't get your marks. But essay type questions requires you to answer them, give your reasoning for why you are answering it that way. So that needs to be graded offline. And like I mentioned, your total score will be a weighted score of both the multiple choice as well as your essay question. Okay. And so there are windows. So we will talk about the windows in a minute. So when the last exam window, sorry, I have somebody's mic on. Can you please mute it? Yeah, thank you. So I was talking about, yeah, the window. So we have windows for the exam. Okay, there were three windows for the exam. Once the last exam in the month when the window is open, when the last week is over, from that time approximately 45 days, okay, you can expect your results. So for example, if the window is September October, okay, if the exam window is September October, so you can write the exam either in September or October. When 31st October is over, that's the last date you could be writing the exam. Okay, from 31st October, approximately 45 days, you can expect your results. Even if you have written your exam in September, your results will come 45 days after 31st of October, usually. Okay, usually. That's how it is there. And you will get a mail, okay, from telling you whether you're passed or failed. And a little later, detailed of where, or which section of the exam you didn't clear, what were your scores and things like that. You will get an analysis as well. Okay. That's about the exam pattern. I hope I've covered everything over there. Yeah. So what are the exam windows? Like I told you, there are exam windows. So the exam windows are January, February, May, June, September, October. Okay. And you cannot take an exam part more than one time during a testing window. So what it means is I wrote my part one in January. Okay. And maybe I got or I was not confident that I did well. Okay. So I want to rewrite my part one. I cannot. I have to wait until the next window. That is, I can write my part one again only May and June or May or June. Okay. So I cannot write the same part twice in the same window. That is what it means. Okay. Exam centers where all other exams conducted in India. You will see they are conducted in Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata. And you can actually find the full list of where the CMA exams in India are conducted on the Prometric website. You will see that even Gurgaon is there now. Gurgaon is also one of the centers. So most of the metros are the centers to write your exam, but you can find the full list by visiting the prometric.com website /ICMA, and you can find the list of centers over there. That's about the exam window and Prometric centers. Yeah. What are the fees? Okay. So what fees do you need to pay to write your exams? First of all, you need to be a member of AMA to be eligible to write the exam. So what is the membership fee? If you are a student, you get a concessional rate of $39, and if you are a working professional, you pay $245. Okay. Entrance fee. So there is an entrance fee. To write your exam, you need to. This is like a non-refundable fee. Okay, which you pay to the IMA. For professionals, it is $250, and for students, it is $188. Kalyani, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a one-time fee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's a one-time fee which you need to pay. It's a non-refundable one-time fee, $250 and $188. And then you have your exam fee. Your exam fee is $415 per part. Please remember, it is per part. And for students, it is $311. But there are a lot of offers which come from the side of IMA as well as from the side of Uplift, which can bring down your fees, fees over here. Sorry, can you please mute your mic? Whoever has the mic on, can you please mute your mic? Bashir, can you please mute your mic? Bashir Ahmad, can you please mute your mic?
Hi, Kalyani, you can mute them because you are the host.
So Sanjay
Okay,
sir,
I've done it. I've done it. I've done it.
yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, right. So there are regularly offers rolled out by IMA and the Uplift organization, which can bring down your total fees. Um, you can contact the administration department of Uplift. They will be able to give you more information on this. It's usually based on promo codes. They have tie-ups. Uplift has tie-ups with IMA and offers, some kind of concessions to its enrolled students. Most of the time, there is offers available. They tie up with the IMA and then help you, get a concession. So this is the fee structure. This is about, like I mentioned, there will be concessions over there. Again, I have somebody on with the mic. Bashir, can you please mute your mic? I keep muting you. You keep unmuting yourself. Can you please mute your mic? Sorry. Yeah. So where can you work once you get qualified as a CMA? Once you get your certification and once you are qualified, where can you work? Practically, every industry, whichever industry needs a finance professional, you can work in that industry. Practically, every industry. There's no industry which does not need a finance professional at some level. May not be at a CFO level, but at some level, you will definitely need a finance guy. Okay. So you work in the construction, mining, agriculture, education, finance, government, healthcare, practically every industry. Okay. Including your startups. Right? Bashir Ahmad, can you please mute your mic? Okay. I'm just going to hold that's over here. I will pass it back to Kalani. Kalani, do we have Fennel sir with us? Yes, we have Fennel sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have Fennel sir with us now.
Yeah. So do you want to introduce him and then hand over
Yes, sir.
to him?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Sure, sir. So thank you, Fennel sir, for being a part of the session. So we have Fennel sir, who is IME India head, and he would be sharing few words on CMA and how CMA will help you to fetch a good career and will companies who are there to hire you. So over to you.
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, Uplift Pro. I could not join earlier. I just reached home, so I just thought of being part of the session. And
Sir, Fennel sir,
amazed to
sorry, can I
see that.
interrupt you here, please? Fennel sir, can I interrupt you here?
Yeah, please.
Do you want to share anything on the screen?
No need of sharing anything. I think
Right.
you have done a good coverage. I actually was watching some of your slides. I think you're covering from the CMA angle. So I just want to add a few points. That's all.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it's interesting to know that our partners are doing and creating a lot of awareness about CMA. So when we when we talk about IMA, I'm sure all of you know, maybe some of you might have got introduced with this. IMA is one of the largest management accounting professional body headquartered in New Jersey, USA. Last 100+ years, we are in the market, and being in membership body, we are here to support finance and accounting professionals in the business. Last 50 years, CMA is one of the preferred credential for people who are working in the finance and management accounting industry. Now, why I want to look at CMA is one of the focused and future qualification. Now, we are living in the era of technology, analytics, and robotics. And we know that many jobs, what you see right now, won't be there in the near future. Or in other words, any jobs which can be automated is going to get automated. That is where you might not see almost 50% of jobs what you see right now in the near future. So what we need to do, or what skill sets industry is looking at. So one of the major reasons, or one of the major attracting point for professionals, students, organizations, and universities to look at CMA, because they could understand CMA is a future focused certification. Because what you learn in CMA, ideally to look at, analyze, and take a final decision. So now the question comes up, okay, nowadays we are talking about data analytics. So whether we need to learn about that or whether we need to look at management accounting. Definitely the knowledge in data analytics helps. So that is where you can see now CMA syllabus also updated with technology and analytics as one of the topics or one of the core areas. Now, if analytics can predict the future, the role of a management accountant is also to how to influence the prediction or to give foresights and insights. Now, the benefit of being a CMA, unlike many other certifications or qualifications, CMA focus more on, the decision-making skills which you need to look at, the multiple areas of finance and non-finance areas. According to the survey, 80% of CMAs globally feels that their certification enhances their ability to move across areas of business. I think I just heard the professor was talking about different career profiles. So this is the benefit here. Being a CMA, you can work in accounting, you can work in finance, you can work in operations, you can work in IT, which is like data scientist or data analyst, and even in the senior executive levels, where you focus more on decision making. 34% of people who completed CMA in the world currently work as CEOs, CFOs, and controllers. 22% of them work as directors and managers, and 33% of them work as accountants, analysts, risk analyst, cost analyst, F&A, FP&A costing profiles. So if you really look at 33% of people who completed CMA, or I would say they are in the first 5 years of their career journey. And what they do, they analyze and create reports. And 22% of them are managers and directors. What is their role? They consolidate the report or findings from the junior levels and help the final decision makers to make the decision. And 34% of people who are the decision makers themselves. So what I want to say here, CMA is one of the preferred qualification, even for qualified professionals. You might be a qualified accountant, you might be an MBA graduate, you might have done something else on the other streams. We have seen engineers doing CMA. One of the the vice president of one of the organization. He's from IT background and then he's done his CMA. So why I want to mention here, CMA is a career and it's a lifelong qualification which is going to help you in building your future. If you want to be a leader, or if you are interested in something more in decision making, CMA is a certification which is going to help you. Thank you, Uplift Pro and faculty members, Ganapati, Professor Ganapati, everyone, Sanjay, everyone who is part of it. I'm not sure who are other people who are part, just joined, just came back. I actually went to office today after almost like, 8-9 months. So I came back a little late. So I could not join earlier. So everyone, I'm sure you're all here to support the candidates who are taking up or looking at CMA journey, and wish you all the best. I'm sure at least some of you are attending this session going to make a career out of CMA, and you will be our brand ambassadors. Thank you. Thank you, Uplift Pro.
Thank you so much, Fennel sir. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Can we have Professor Ganpati now, sir? Can you please share a few words from your end?
Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you for all those who are attending in this CMA informative session. I think Mr. Fennel has nicely has given the entire benefit of CMAs. Understand by way of the percentage what they have done it during the survey. So it is a good example of my career. I would like to tell you. I think most some of the guys who are known to me. See, my qualification, I am a MCOM, MSc, ECMA, that is Indian ICWA, as well as CMA US. See, one small thing I would like to highlight here. When I was working for a company, I've been working as a chief accountant level. So when I want to break through the barrier, because when you want to go to the next level where you take decisions, right, you need a proper certification. When you talk about the proper certification, I'm just talking about the professional certification. So for that, I have chosen the CMA US. By doing that, you will not believe I have become the CFO, and in fact, I have become the CFO, group CFO of 12 companies. So this is the value of the US CMA certification. Of course, we can see why we cannot get a ICWA person can become a CFO. Yes, it is possible, but the choice, the options by the employer, the belief in which they believe in knowledge of the certification is entirely different, especially in the outside world. This CMA certification is recognized all over the world, whereas our Indian certifications are all there. But when you compare the recognition with the CMA US and the CMA other parts, CMA US is always going to be the number one. So the CMA certification is going to uplift your profession. The CMA certification is going to give an acceleration to your career. So if you take and seriously, if you dedicate your time, you can complete it within 6 to 12 months. So it is very, very simple certification, but you have to have the necessary dedication. That is most important. It's simple, but it is not easy, because you have to have the complete knowledge, and most of the questions what we have come across are going to become a practical scenario. That means you are trying to work at the desk on the day one, whereas other certification like MCOMs, You need some training to do in a work in a company. Whereas a person who is getting the certification, they are going to handle all the practical scenarios. There are two question essays that you are going to write. It's going to become a scenario in your company where you are going to work. What is the decision you are going to take? That's what I'm going to say. It is not something academic or something. It is going to become everything practical. Even so many MCQ questions, if you see that, okay, some of the theory question which talks about the principle, it's the testing about your knowledge. But majority of the questions comes with the scenarios. There is a company which is going to manufacture certain things. It has to quote because there is a bidding is the most important thing for the companies because when they want to do the sale, they may have to bid. So when they want to bid, what could be the bidding rate? That plays a huge role getting the particular contract. So that is going to be supported by the CMA person because you are going to get trained how you are going to find out the cost, how you are going to exactly give the suggestions to quote. So this is a simple example I would like to highlight here. So the CMA certification is definitely going to help everyone to grow in the career. I think you would have studied in the normal papers or articles or Google it. Normally, all over the world, it was been by a survey, it was found out the CMA certified members are able to get 30% more than a normal degree holder. So that is salary wise, the remuneration wise. Normally, a 30% increase is being shown by the way of survey. So that shows the credibility of the CMA certification. So that's all about from my side. Over to Kalyani.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the information that you have provided. I'm sure it is going to help our students and all the other CMA aspirants who are actually planning to go for this course. Okay, so we now talk about Uplift, basically what Uplift offers and how Uplift was formed. This information is mainly for the prospective candidates who are thinking to join with Uplift to excel themselves in their CMA career. So let me give you a brief introduction about Uplift Pro. Uplift Pro was initially formed by a group of professionals who actually wanted to support, provide guidance to ambitious students and working professionals who wanted to grow in their career, in their professional life. So Uplift Pro is basically at present dealing with two domains. One is the financial accounting certification and other is non-financial courses which we are providing right now, that is in corporate English and IELTS. Now, under the financial accounting certifications, the three major courses which Uplift is providing, one is CMA US, the other is CPA US, and the third one is Certified Internal Audit. Now, coming across the offerings made by Uplift, we are providing live online classes of CMA US from every Monday to Saturday. It's a live online interactive sessions with our faculty members, and the classes are being held late evening around 9 o'clock Indian time. So it's a 1.5 hour sessions which we provide. Now, till you pass coaching at Uplift, we are not limiting the flexibility of classes to our students because we do understand as individuals, as working professionals, you are having your personal and professional commitments. So you need to balance both your lives. So we have come up with this till you pass coaching, which means you can avail Uplift's live online classes till you qualify both the papers without paying anything extra. So there are no hidden charges. It's a one-time fee which you pay to Uplift. Being authorized course provider of GLEM, we will be helping you with GLEM material, which comes with Mega Bank and It also contains huge number of questions and a study plan that will help you to prepare you for your CMA examination more well. Now, recordings. Every live class which Uplift is conducting are recorded. Like as you can see, today's webinar also we are recording it. So every live classes of ours are recorded, and these recordings are provided to our students the very next day. So you can save them, you can review to it whenever you require. Apart from the basic services of classes, we also take extra efforts, rather the faculty members take extra efforts to help our students to prepare more well for the examination. So there are faculty notes and mock assignments provided to the students before the exam window. So you can practice more well, and you can even have your doubts clarified by them. We also have a WhatsApp integrated student forum for our students, where we connect each students to each other, and the faculty members and other Uplift team members are there. Now, coming to WhatsApp discussion forum, I would like to say that this is a platform that we are giving to our students so that they can come up, they can raise their concern related to the course, anything related to class, doubts, IME examination. They can always put their concerns over WhatsApp group. But one thing you need to understand, that whether it's the faculty members or admin team members, we will reply to your queries within 24 hours, because most of the times even the mentors are busy with their other lectures. Maybe the team members of Uplifts are also occupied with other work. But rest assured, your queries will be taken care of it, and it will be answered within 24 hours. Now, coming to the administrative guidance, Uplift will be providing you stepwise guidance towards your IMA registration. As Sanjay sir previously quoted, being the authorized course provider of GLEM, and also an approved partner of IMA, there are certain discounts which are allocated to Uplift, and definitely we will be helping you down the line with availing those respective coupons, and getting you a discount in the total fee of IMA registration. One information that I would like to give you, that we are coming up with a fresh batch of paper 2 from 5th of March, and this is mainly for the prospective candidates. If you're planning to go with the current batch of Uplift, 10% discount you will be receiving it on the admission fee if you get yourself enrolled within next 2 days. Thank you. Sanjay sir, you can now take care of the questions. If you have any questions, our faculty members are here. You can have your questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kalyani. There are a couple of things which I would like to add to what Kalyani mentioned. One is till you pass coaching. I mean, you can keep attending the classes, but what is the point? Okay, the purpose is that you get your certification to grow in your career. So if you're just going to keep attending the classes and not write your exams, not make an attempt to study and clear your exams, you can attend any number of coaching classes. It's not going to be worth it. You're spending money, and if you're not going to write your exam to get your certification, it's not going to take you anywhere in the career. Without a certification, you gain knowledge, but certifications are necessary for your growth. That's one point I wanted to talk about. Second point, Kalyani mentioned about the recordings. Okay, recordings are not substitute for interactive classes. Recordings are only for you to refresh what you have learned in the class. Okay, when you are in the class, you are actually interacting with a live person. You are free to ask your questions. If you don't understand the way it's explained, the faculty will try and explain it to you in a different way. But in a recording, what is recorded is what you will have to understand it from. So if you don't understand, you will struggle. So recordings are definitely not substitute for live classes. I would encourage each student to attend the live classes. Okay, there is a lot you will learn from the live classes. The way the questions are solved, what are the tricks to solve questions more quickly, what is the information you need to look for in a question, how do you read a question, all this you may or may not get it from the recording, right? But when you attend a live class, I'm sure students who have attended our classes, whether it is Ganpati sir or whether my classes, will vouch for this fact that there is a difference between attending a live class and getting a recorded class. Okay. Those are two clearly, points which I wanted to really highlight because it is important for you to understand. The purpose is not to attend the class. The purpose of you joining this organization is for you to clear your CMA certification and move forward, get the benefit of that in your career, right? That's something which I really wanted to add. Um, that's it from me, and we are open to take any questions that you have. You can raise your hand, or you can just type it out on the chat, and we will take your questions. No questions? Any questions? Anybody has any questions?
If anybody is having any question, you can please raise your questions. Any doubt, anything you would like to ask regarding IMA administrative process or CMA oriented questions, anything?
So my name is Gaurav, and I just wanted to know, like, the relationship between Glim and the Uplift. So it's been how many years?
Kelly, shall I answer that question?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Why not?
Yeah, see, GLAM is well known. It has been around for quite a long time. GLAM is also one of the approved partners of IMA. As long as the relationship being between Uplift and GLAM really makes no difference because GLAM is a known, product. It's a course metal which is well known in the market, and Uplift is one of the partners of GLAM. So we provide you with this study material. You can actually talk to people who have used GLAM course material to clear the exams. I'm sure they will give you a positive, feedback on the course material. Does that answer your question?
No,
Gaurav?
actually, I just want to know, how many years.
How
So
many years is the
yeah,
relationship? Okay,
yes.
Uplift's relationship with GLAM is recent. It is not very, old. It is recent. But yes, there are reasons why we shifted over to GLAM because we find GLAM to be an excellent course material provider.
So previously, how to which company Uplift was associated?
Uplift was earlier
Okay,
associated with
excuse
Hawk.
me. I would like to. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Gaurav, actually, where Uplift, we normally contact with sometime we have used with Hawk, we have even used with some of our own materials, and now we have become the GLIM partner. What is the exact purpose for which you would like to know this? If you can clarify, I can step into that further.
No, I just asked for just for the curiosity
Yeah,
and
because the idea is, see,
as
the
an
idea is
experience.
that's a commercial part and administrative part. As because that goes with the entire commercial area, whereas we are concerned about the certification and your career is concerned and the certification is concerned. There are so many, even some of the years, the Uplift has given their own materials. I remember, right? There are books were being discussed. Yeah, those things were there. So sometime it was with Hawk and sometime now with the Glim. Yeah. So it goes with administrative and a commercial part. However, the teacher, the professor, the qualified things, even though you are going to study some of the books which are going to be supplied for your guidance, whereas the professors are well known and we collect as per the syllabus, not as per the preview book. Yeah, I hope that concern would have been removed from your mind. Is it or something else?
No, I was just curious to know, like
Yeah, the curious is I don't know. It's a see, we have been associated could be around of 2 years. Now they have become the authorized partner.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ganpati
I'll
sir.
just add one point out here. Prashant, let me tell you, Clem has been into the market for the last 45 years, and they have been helping people in different accounting certification with their material. So if Uplift has come in contact with GLEM. So definitely there is a reason behind it, because we believe GLEM is considered to be one of the most comprehensive material, for that can be considered for your CMA US preparation. And at the end of the day, let me tell you, it's the effort which is put by the student behind his or her preparation, and definitely the way he or she is following the instructions given by the faculty mentors. So actually materials, basically I will say it is provided to the student for as a support, but at the end of the day, it's an overall effort made by the student and by the course provider. I hope this answers your question now.
Yeah, I totally understand that,
Yeah.
and totally agree and concur with you, because it eventually, it depends, to to who, who is teaching you, and definitely, the course content plays a major and vital role for, for in the execution of the questions. And obviously, you guys are much experienced, and you understand the criticality of the content, and understand the requirement of today's examinations.
Exactly. So be rest assured, if you're joining Uplift, you will be in safe hands.
Kalani, just to add to another point,
Hi,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
this is
sorry,
Fennel this side. I just want to look at the few. I think I just was hearing about the material thing. So all these are IMA's review publishers, and all these publishers created the syllabus based on IMA content specific outline and learning outcome statement. So that's where we consider around 6 publishers in India or across the world as IMA publishers, and you can learn with any of the materials. Every material got their own benefits and approach and systems, and providers are free to choose any one of them, and that we are pretty sure that will help the candidates to prepare for the exams. Thank you.
uh, okay, I have two questions over there. Let's look at the first question. There's one from Prashant, who's asking about, decide the gap. Okay, okay, just give me a minute, then I'll put in the answer to Prashant's question. I've typed it out. Just give me a minute. No, sorry. Yeah, Prashant, I don't know whether you can see the answer. You can clear both the parts in about 6 to 12 months. It's depending upon how well you prepare and how much of effort you're putting in. But generally between 6 to 12 months you can clear. If you need longer time, you can take longer, but it's totally dependent upon you. Okay. And then I have another question, which is in a recent graduate and applying for companies currently. Sorry, Aishwarya, I'm not able to understand your question. Can you please, do you suggest me to work and study at the same time, or complete the CMA and then apply for the companies? Which would be a better option for career growth? See, it depends upon your personal circumstances, Aishwarya. We have students who are, working as well as studying because they want to progress in the career. We also have students who have completed their graduation but would like to study further before they can, take up a job, because it will give them an edge compared to an ordinary graduate. It is dependent upon, your personal circumstances, but you can do both. If you are interested in focusing only on your studies, then the option would be that you take up the course, clear the certification, and then look for a job. But if you need work as well, and want to study along with it so that you have a better qualification, even that's possible. In either case, whether you're a student who's focusing only on studies or you're a working professional who's going to work as well as study, in either case, the point is that you need to be determined, you need to be focused, and you need to be serious about the course. Aishwarya, does that answer your question? Can I prepare for both part 1 and clear part 1 and then part 2? Yes, you can. You can do that. So you can, attend part 1 classes, and while you're preparing to write your part 1 exam, you can also attend part 2 classes so that you understand what the concepts are, you understand how you can use that information and things like that. And once you clear your part 1, you can write part 2, or even you can write your part 2 first and then your part. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to write part 1 and then only you can write part 2. You can write any of the parts first. You can write part 2 first, and once you clear part 2, you can write your part 1, or you can write your part 2 and part 1 simultaneously. Or if you won't write your part 1 first, you can write your part 1 and then write your part 2. The option is yours. You can choose any combination. In fact, I cleared my part 2 first before I cleared my part 1. Okay. Yes, Anirban, you have a question? Please go ahead. You can unmute and ask.
Good evening, sir. My name is Anirban. Actually, sir, I just wanted to ask that I have had no formal education in accounting or finance, to be honest. I have a IT. I'm from an IT background and have been currently working with a nationalized bank for the past 7.5 years. So I've taken this course because of its potential and the future options that it provides, especially since I'm into the field of finance. Could you please guide me how should I approach this course, considering that I have had no formal education in accounting or finance?
Yeah, good question, Anirban. Just to let you know, we have had students who are not from the accounting background who have cleared this exam. There have been engineers who work in the BFSI space and require knowledge of accounting, or a certification to progress in their career, who have taken up this course and have cleared the exam. Can I request the others to mute your mic, please? Because there's a lot of disturbance in the background. Can I please request? Yes, thank you so much. So, like I was stating that, there is a basic requirement of knowing what accounting is. So if you work in the banking space and you work in the IT background, I'm sure you will know, how entries are passed, what is the impact of a one entry on another on an account and things like that. We explain the concepts before we solve any questions in the class. We give you in detail understanding of the concept. We expect you to have a basic understanding of accounting and accounting terminologies, understanding of how entries work. You need not be, proficient in accounting is what I would say. Okay, because we give you a detailed explanation of the concepts. We help you understand when you do this, what is the impact on the account, how does it impact an entry, what where does the the money flow into, or what is the impact of the transaction, and then we help you solve the problems. So it is not necessary that you have to have 100% accounting background, but you should have an understanding of how accounting works, what the basic entries are, terminologies of accounting, things like that. Anirban, does that answer your question?
Thank you so much, sir. It does actually answer my question. I just wanted to ask one more thing. As you said that you have to be aware of the accounting terminologies. Obviously, since I've been working in a bank, I understand the accounting terminologies, but the core concepts of accounting, like preparing a journal or a trial balance or a balance sheet, these things are not in my domain, never been in my domain. So, will it be a problem, or as you said, you would be explaining each and every concept in detail before going into it?
Yeah, we wouldn't go down to that level because, like I told you, basic knowledge of accounting is required, but I won't say that is a problem for you. Okay, you will have to put in an additional effort in understanding the basics. So what we can help you with is we can guide you to certain websites or some resources where you can self-study to understand these concepts. But having said that, what I would also say is that we are there to support you at the back. So if you are going through a journal entry and you don't understand the journal entry, okay, and if you come back to us and tell us, I didn't understand this journal entry, can you please explain? We will definitely help you with that. Okay? But we won't go down to the level of teaching you the how to pass a journal entry, how to post a ledger account. We don't go down to that, right?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That was
I have had students in my class who are not from the accounting background, and I have shared resources with them saying that, can you please go through these resources? If you get stuck anywhere, you can always contact me and I will help you out with that. They have gone through the resources. They have come back to me and said, okay, we are stuck here. Please help us. We have helped them out and they're comfortable with learning the CMA course material. Right? Anirban, answered?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That was really helpful.
You're
Thank you, sir.
welcome. If what okay, let me look at the next question. If anyone take exam outside India, will it get certified? No. The straight answer for that is no. Okay. Some time back, there was a tie-up between CMA USA and CMA India, where if you take up the exam outside India, you could, become a member of this CMA India Institute as well. But that memorandum of understanding is expired. It has not been renewed. The straight answer for that is no now. Is there, okay, that's a repeat.
So there's a question raised by Mohammad Abdul Kabul, that is, can he have a brief clarification about CMA passing mark?
Yes, sure, Abdul. The exam is for 500 marks. It consists of both multiple choice questions and essay type question. You need to score 360 out of 500 to pass. Okay, the 360 is a weighted average of the multiple choice questions as well as your essay type questions. You can go to the essay type exam questions only if you get 50 questions correct out of the 100 multiple choice questions. Does that answer your question, Mohammad Abdul Kabul? Does that answer your question? Earlier fundamental of accounting and economic was a part of assumed knowledge. Is it still applicable? Right. Yes, it is applicable because you are expected to have a university level knowledge for CMA exams. Okay, and accounting and economic fundamentals of accounting and economic are required. That's exactly what I told Amit Pal, that you need to have a basic understanding of accounting. You need to know the terminologies. You need to know how the transactions impact the accounts, and basics like credits and debits. What is a credit, what is a debit, what kind of accounts are credited? So that knowledge is required, but that's not something which cannot be obtained. There are lots of resources available over the internet which help you get this basic knowledge. With a little bit of effort and time, you can obviously and definitely upskill yourself and have this knowledge, basic knowledge, for going through the CMA course. Any other questions? Anybody else has any other question? No other questions? Anybody? Any question? If there are no more questions, can we wind up? If no more questions, last chance, going once.
So So, since we have our students out here, so we
Yes.
can ask any of your students if they have anything to share, like their experience with Uplift. So, students, any one of you would like to share your experience with Uplift?
Sure.
Anyone? Yeah. We have
Anybody?
Sukhwinder, we have Dinesh, we have Deepu. Any one of you? You're welcome to speak if you have anything to share about Uplift.
Come on, you can talk about your experience, how your experience has been with Uplift. Anybody wants to?
Good evening, everyone.
Hi,
Good evening, everyone.
Sorry, who's that?
Deepu.
Yes, Deepu, go ahead, please.
I think I am the right person to talk because I was there since Hawk India was, the start class. The classes started name with Hawk India.
Hmm?
I take this opportunity, really say I've been there with the organization almost 1 year, I believe. Due to my personal reasons, I was not able to attend the classes or write the examinations. But every time I ask queries or any questions to Sanjay or Ganapati or be it any of the uh, concerned persons from Uplift, I would say the support that I received so far, even today, I never thought that I would get an invite because in the message it was conveyed that those who are not attending the classes regularly wouldn't be getting the videos. It could be because of the bandwidth or something else. But I really appreciate and I really express my thanks to all of the team, including Sanjay sir, including Ganapati sir, and moreover the level of knowledge and the way they explain small things to each one of us. You guys really deserve a salute, or I open heartedly expressing my gratitude towards all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your kind words, Deepu. And we are there always to support you. We would like to see you take up the exam and clear it.
Yep.
Anybody else would like to talk?
How about Gunjan? Sir,
Hey, who's that?
Gunjan.
Yes, Gunjan. Yes, Gunjan, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone, it's Kunjan this side. So I've recently graduated from college and I've got a job. So I'm doing a job currently. I started preparing for CMA along with my graduation only. So I have attended part 1 classes with them. So far the classes that I've attended, let me tell you, these sessions are
Gunjan, sorry, we seem to have lost you. We can't hear you. I think we lost connectivity with her. Is anyone else able to hear her?
much better picture of the syllabus. You get better, picture of the doubts that you have. You this way, if you attend the classes, it helps you to attend less time and studying overall, because it helps you cover a lot. You solve some practical questions, you discuss the theory in the class, so there's nothing that's not covered in the class. So I would suggest you all to attend the sessions, as they'll be very helpful. I guess that's it from my side.
Thank you, Gunjan. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Is there any
Sukhwinder.
other questions? or
We have
shall we?
Sukhwinder who's put in a note over there. So he says it was a good experience. The faculty are very supportive. They try their best to clear the doubts. Thanks, Sukhwinder.
So can we have the last slide, please?
Yes, we will have it.
Thank you. Fine. So we shall now end our session. So before we end, if any of you is having any question related to the admission part, you can mail it to us, or you can just give us a call or WhatsApp on the below given number. As I said earlier, if you're planning to get enrolled with Uplift, we are running a spot discount of 10%, and it is valid till next 2 days. So you can get in touch with your respective counselor. They will guide you for the further proceedings. So, sir, shall we end the session here?
Kalyani, we have a question. When does part 2
Yes.
batch start?
Until it starts from 5th of March. We will be informed. We will be giving you the update over email as well as in WhatsApp.
Any more questions? No? Shall we wind up the session?
I think so, sir. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for your
Thank you.
participation and hope to see you all in the class.
Thank you, Sanjay, sir. Thank you, Ganpati, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.